Have you ever had that gut feeling that someone isn't being entirely truthful with you? It's a confusing and often uncomfortable situation. We've all been there, trying to figure out if we are being told the whole story. Popular culture tells us to look for shifty eyes or fidgeting, but the reality of lie detection is much more subtle and fascinating. Today, we are going to dive deep into the science and psychology behind deception. Forget what you've seen in the movies. We'll explore 3 powerful, counterintuitive techniques that focus on what most people miss. By the end of this video, you'll have a new toolkit to better understand the conversations happening around you. So, get comfortable, and let's unravel the secrets of human communication together. First up, let's talk about our first principle. Listen to pauses, not just words. This might sound strange, right? We are so trained to focus on the content of what someone is saying, the story they're weaving. But the real clues often hide in the silences, the gaps between the words. When someone is telling the truth, their story flows from memory. The recall is usually natural and consistent. There might be some ums and ahs as they access the information, but the rhythm is generally steady. However, when someone is fabricating a story, their brain is working overtime. It's not just recalling, it's creating, editing, and fact-checking in real time. This intense cognitive load often manifests as unnatural pauses. Think about it this way. The brain of a liar is like a computer running too many programs at once. It has to invent a plausible scenario, make sure it doesn't contradict known facts, monitor your reaction, and try to appear calm all at the same time. This mental juggling act is exhausting. So, what you'll hear are pauses that are either too long or in the wrong places. For example, you might ask a simple question like, "What did you do after work yesterday?" A truthful person might say, "Oh, after work. I went to the gym and then grabbed some groceries." The pause is at the beginning, as they access their memory. A person constructing a lie might start strong. "After work I went straight home." And then, when asked to follow up like, "What did you have for dinner?" there's a long, awkward silence. That pause isn't for memory recall, it's for creation. They're building the next part of the story. Another thing to listen for is the filled pause. These are words like you know, like. While everyone uses these, liars often use them excessively to buy time to think. It's a verbal smokescreen. A practical tip is to pay attention to a person's baseline. How do they normally speak? Everyone has a unique speech pattern. Once you know their normal rhythm, any significant deviation becomes a red flag. Try asking simple, non-threatening questions first to establish this baseline. For instance, ask about their favorite movie or what they did last weekend. Listen to their cadence. Then, when you move to more critical questions, listen for a change in that rhythm. The pauses will tell you a story that the words are trying to hide. Moving on to our second powerful technique, watch for disconnected movements, not just the body. We are often told to look for fidgeting, a lack of eye contact, or crossed arms as signs of lying. But here's the problem. Honest people get nervous too. An innocent person being accused of something might fidget or avoid eye contact simply because they're stressed. What's far more revealing is a disconnect between a person's words and their body language. Our brains are hardwired for congruence. When we feel an emotion, our body naturally expresses it. When we say yes and are happy about it, we might nod and smile. Everything is in sync. When someone is lying, this sync breaks down. Their conscious mind is focused on controlling their words, but their subconscious mind, which controls most of our nonverbal cues, can leak the truth. This creates a fascinating and often visible mismatch. For example, someone might say, "Yes, I'm completely fine with that decision," while subtly shaking their head no. It can be a tiny, almost imperceptible movement, but it's there. Or they might say, "I'm so excited about the project," but their facial expression is flat, their shoulders are slumped, and their hands are still. Their body is telling a completely different story than their mouth. A classic example of this is the shoulder shrug. A one-sided shoulder shrug, especially when someone is making a confident statement, can signal a lack of conviction. It's their body subconsciously saying, "I don't really believe what I'm saying." Another is the timing of gestures. In a truthful person, gestures will proceed or happen at the exact same time as the words they emphasize. For instance, they might start to point asterisk as asterisk they say, "That's the one I'm talking about." For a liar, the gesture often comes after the word. They'll say, "That's the one I'm talking about," and then they'll point. It's a delayed, rehearsed action rather than a spontaneous expression. So, The key takeaway here is not to become a fidget detector. Instead, become a sync detector. Look for the harmony between what is said and what the body does. When that harmony is broken, it's time to pay closer attention. Finally, let's explore our third and perhaps most insightful point: the wrong timing of emotions. Authentic emotions have a natural, spontaneous rhythm. They arise, peak, and fade in a smooth arc. Think about a time you heard a truly funny joke. You didn't decide to laugh. The laugh just happened. It erupted, you enjoyed it, and then it slowly subsided. Manufactured emotions, on the other hand, don't follow this pattern. They often appear and disappear too quickly, like flipping a switch. Someone might put on a big, beaming smile when they see you, but the moment you turn away, it vanishes instantly. A genuine smile, known as a Duchenne smile, involves the muscles around the eyes and fades away slowly. A fake smile is often just the mouth, and it disappears unnaturally fast. The duration of an emotion is another huge clue. Most genuine emotional displays, even intense ones like anger or surprise, last for only a few seconds. If someone displays a single emotion for an unusually long time, say, they hold a shocked expression for 10 seconds straight without it wavering, it's likely being performed for your benefit. They are broadcasting an emotion rather than feeling it. Think of it like an actor holding a pose on stage. Another aspect of timing is the delay. With a truthful person, the emotion is in sync with the event. If you tell them surprising news, their eyes will widen in surprise almost instantly. If someone is faking it, there's often a slight delay between the stimulus and their reaction. You tell them the surprising news, and then there's a beat, a split-second pause, before their face contorts into an expression of surprise. In that brief moment, their brain was processing the information and thinking, "Oh, I'm supposed to look surprised now." This lag is a telltale sign of a coached, unnatural emotional response. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine you're telling a friend a sad story. A genuinely empathetic friend will show a sad expression as you're telling it. Their face will mirror your emotion in real time. Someone feigning empathy might wait until you finish the whole story, and then say, "Oh, that's so sad," while suddenly putting on a somber face. The emotion is out of sync with the narrative. It's a reaction to the end of the story, not a shared experience during it. So, when trying to gauge sincerity, don't just look at the emotion itself. Pay close attention to when it starts, how long it lasts, and how it fades away. The timing tells you everything. So, to recap these powerful techniques, first, listen to the rhythm of speech. The pauses and silences often speak louder than the words themselves, revealing the cognitive load of creating a lie. Second, watch for the disconnect. Don't get distracted by simple fidgeting. Look for a mismatch between words and body language, where the body betrays the lie. And third, analyze the timing of emotions. Authentic feelings have a natural flow, while manufactured emotions are often too quick, too slow, or held for too long. It's important to remember that these are not foolproof lie detectors. They are indicators, not proof. A person might be nervous, socially awkward, or just having a bad day, which could cause some of these signals. The key is to look for clusters of these behaviors, not just one isolated incident. Use these observations as a cue to ask more questions, to seek clarification, and to understand the situation more deeply, not to jump to conclusions. By shifting your focus from the cliched signs of lying to these more nuanced aspects of communication, you're not just becoming better at spotting deception, you're becoming a more perceptive and empathetic communicator. You're learning to listen and observe on a much deeper level. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the fascinating world of human behavior. I hope these insights give you a new perspective on your daily interactions. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on psychology and communication. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever noticed these signs in a conversation? Share your story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.